My sister made me sit at the kids' table until her son read my old postcard. At my grandma's 80th birthday dinner, my sister made a little place card for me at the kids' table, not as a joke between us, as a performance. There were 26 people in the restaurant's private room, and she had printed everyone's name on cream cardstock. My cousins were at one long table, the adults were around grandma, the kids were in the corner, and there was my name, wedged between Brayden, age 6, and my sister's son Oliver, age 10. My sister Melissa smiled like she had solved a seating chart emergency. "Well, you left home at 17, she said loudly, so technically you missed some growing up." Everyone laughed. I laughed too, because that is what you do when the room has already decided you are the punchline. I was 32. I had driven 4 hours after work. I had brought grandma a framed photo of us from before her hands got shaky. But in my family, I was still the irresponsible one, the runaway, the girl who packed a duffel bag in winter and made dad cry. That was the version Melissa had been telling for 15 years. The truth was, I left because the house had become a hospital room with overdue bills. Dad was on oxygen, mom worked doubles, Melissa was pregnant and still the golden child because she stayed. I was the one yelled at for every missing dollar, so I left with $48, got a job bussing tables 2 states away, and mailed money home before I bought myself a real coat. Nobody talked about that part. I sat at the kids' table and helped Brayden open a juice box. Oliver looked embarrassed for me. He whispered, "You can sit by me," like he was rescuing me from his own mom. Dinner was loud and awful in that special family way. Grandma looked beautiful in a navy dress, but tired. She kept trying to catch my eye from the head table. Then Melissa stood up for the toast. She tapped her glass and talked about grandma's strength, her cooking, her stubbornness. Everyone nodded. Then she glanced over at me. "And grandma taught us family always comes home," Melissa said. "Even if some people only come back when the cake is free." The laugh hit harder that time. My face went hot. I stared at the plastic tablecloth and told myself not to make grandma's birthday about me. Then Oliver said, "Mom, what does this mean?" He was holding an old postcard. Grandma had brought a shoebox of photos and the kids had been passing them around. Oliver had found a faded card with a truck stop in Tulsa on the front. On the back, in my 17-year-old handwriting, it said, "Grandma, please give Mom $220 for Dad's oxygen. Don't tell them it's from me if it makes things worse. I got extra shifts. I love you. I'll send more Friday." The room did not get quiet all at once. First the kids stopped chewing, then my cousin stopped talking, then Melissa stopped smiling. Oliver read the last line out loud because he was 10 and did not understand what he had found. She says, "Don't let Missy say I don't care. Is Missy you?" Melissa's glass lowered to the table. Grandma reached for the postcard with both hands. Her fingers shook. Her voice did not. "I kept every one," she said. No one moved. Grandma turned to the adults' table. She sent rent money, grocery money, medicine money, from bus stations, diners, motel desks. She did not want her parents ashamed. My mom covered her mouth. Dad stared at the table like the white cloth had instructions on it. Melissa whispered, "I didn't know." Grandma looked at her. "You never asked." That hurt more than the toast because it was so calm. Then Grandma pushed back her chair and pointed to the empty seat beside her. "Come sit by me, baby, baby. Not runaway, not selfish, not the family joke." I stood up, and every chair leg scrape sounded enormous. Nobody laughed when I carried my plate across the room. Oliver handed me the postcard like fragile evidence. When I sat beside Grandma, she took my hand under the table. Melissa tried to restart the party. She said something about presents. Someone coughed, but the room had changed shape and everyone knew it. Later in the parking lot, Dad walked up to me with red eyes and said, "Was it really that bad?" I could have said a lot of things. Instead I said, "It was bad enough that Grandma kept the receipts." The next week, Melissa texted me a long apology. I did not answer right away, but Grandma called and asked if I wanted the postcards. I told her no. Keep them in the shoebox. Not because I needed proof anymore, because for once the right people had already seen it.